cheered, and there were smiles around, and there were conversations amongst people that didn't know each other talking about the topic. Super interested.
It was packed in there. Finding a seat was hard.
So it is my honor again to welcome you to the Pro Voice Project presents The Abortion Diaries.
61 years ago.
57 years ago.
I had an abortion.
I had an abortion, but I had to leave the country to get...
Since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last year, 14 states have banned abortions in nearly all cases.
Over beers at a local Sandpoint, Idaho brewery, residents held a wake of sorts to mourn the closure of the labor and delivery ward at Bonner General, the city's only hospital. The hospital in part blamed Idaho's legal and political climate. Quote, highly respected, talented physicians are leaving. Recruiting replacements will be extraordinarily difficult. The closure comes just 8 months after Idaho's abortion ban went into effect.
My name is Jen Jackson Quintano, and I am the founder and executive director of the Pro Voice Project, which is based out of Sandpoint, Idaho.
I am Sarah Lawal. I'm a minister at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Boise.
The Pro Voice Project is an organization that utilizes storytelling to mobilize action on behalf of reproductive rights in Idaho. It's the core of the Pro Voice Project are traveling stage productions, wherein Idahoans' abortion stories are shared from the stage to help generate some community conversation and greater understanding and empathy for the abortion experience.
The whole topic is taboo. It should be normalized, but people seem to think that it's something you should hide or be hidden or they get shamed for.
After the Dobbs decision, I just really felt like I needed to do something in the realm of reproductive rights. My background is my husband and I own an arborist business. Until last fall, I was running chainsaws in the forest here. My background is not in organizing or reproductive rights or any of that. But I felt called to act. I needed to do something.
The power of storytelling, the power of theater, the power of art as a modality to move people, to break open our hearts and invite us into these deeply emotional stories, and that art moves us, and so then we move. And that's really an agent of change making.
So I put out a call in my community for people to submit anonymously their stories and experiences with abortion. And I received about 15 submissions from the Sandpoint community, which was just amazing that people were willing to come forward and contribute to this. And in partnership with a local playwright, we put these together in a format that was conducive to the stage, and we were able to get actors involved, and we had 200 people show up to Sandpoint's performance, which is incredible. We have a town of 10,000 people here, and so to have 200 people come out on a cold January night was incredible. And it was powerful. And that performance, I could see the ripple effects through the community from that. It's after that performance, I suddenly was being approached in the grocery store by people wanting to share their abortion stories with me. They'd never felt comfortable sharing them before.
I worked to think about what are the Boise stories that I might be aware of. Who do I know? And I did some outreach to some folks to solicit some Boise stories, and we got 4 of them.
The protesters know which days are abortion days. I felt so alone and so scared.
And just sifted through all of those to choose the ones that I thought would tell the kind of best narrative arc in the time that we had.
We had the Moscow performance, which was very well attended, well received, very well supported by the community. We had 30 different business and organizational sponsors. We had a stage performance in Boise, where each community that this is put on in has a different playwright, different performers. So
that the performance really reflects the community in which it is staged.
I don't feel shy about sharing it because I think it humanizes the experience and people get to know that it's a very difficult decision to make.
You know, I was interested in this as soon as I saw the name of the show. The idea of hearing authentic stories about the topic of women's right to choose inspired me greatly. So I went, and I wasn't disappointed. The stories were well told by the actors, and the audience was so engaged. But the acting itself really portrayed these stories in a very authentic way, and they were so diverse and interesting. It was great.
I was unprepared for how powerful that would be. My story had not been included in a stage production prior to that. And, you know, my abortion experience happened 15 or so years ago. And I thought I had worked through all the emotional content with that and had moved on. And then to bear witness to my story, to have someone inhabiting the space that I was in at the age of 25 and sharing that experience, I could not stop crying. It was just my heart being touched by who I was at 25 and what I had endured and the decisions that I made, and gratitude to that person who paved the path to where I am now.
And there were over 400 people in the audience. I was just very moved that so many people wanted to come and experience the storytelling.
I also was inspired by the fact that this show was going in other parts of Idaho.
I just got off the phone earlier this morning with someone in Sun Valley, Blaine County, who's interested in bringing this there. I've got work underway for a production in McCall for early next year. And I've just recently gotten emails from people in Idaho Falls, Pocatello, and Coeur d'Alene that are interested in putting it on there. So I'm really excited for this to spread around the state and change the conversation in this state. It's so important in places like Idaho that are so conservative, and we feel so fearful talking about these things, to help people to understand that there are safe spaces.
And being part of an effort to try to share these stories and humanize the people that are going through traumatic experiences is I'm just very grateful I can be part of that effort.
Absolutely, when people feel like they can share that and that this is something that is their right, and everyone comes together and supports each other, and we can talk about it, and it's great to see.
It gives me a great sense of hope. People are fired up about this issue, and they're finally willing to speak up about it. So the more that I can do to encourage people to speak up, the better.
Abortion is healthcare. Abortion is not going away. Abortion is a blessing.